Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the last semi-final of the Sevens World Cup, Australia versus Fiji. These two sides have done battle many times throughout the 2022 World Sevens circuit, and now they go head-to-head in one of the biggest matches for both of these sides in recent times. You'd have to say the Commonwealth Games final was a pretty nice one for Fiji, but they want to be able to take out the gold and become world champions. Looking through at their starting lineup, it is going to be Osefo Masi, also Elia Thanakaivata, Josefa Talatholo, Kimanali Rasaku, the man who I've said is in some terrific form and doesn't look like it's changing anytime soon. Felipe Saturanga, Jerry Tawai, the experienced veteran, and Waisia Nathunu there in the starting lineup. Then for Australia, Henry Patterson, Henry Hutchison, couple Henrys in the starting positions. For the Aussies, Nick Maloof as the captain, James Turner, Matthew Gonzalez, Dietrich Roach, and Josh Turner as the starting lineup. Do let me know your score predictions in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. I see a lot of support for the Fijians in this matchup. Whoever wins goes through to the final to face up against New Zealand. Now, we already know that on the women's side of things, it will be New Zealand versus Australia. Can we see a repeat of that in the men's, or will the Fijian flair be able to dominate the Australians? They get it right, it certainly could be an option. Now, last night we didn't see the freest flowing game from Fiji or Australia, but the weather was not ideal. Unfortunately, very slippery conditions, handling errors all round. This game is looking dry in Cape Town for the afternoon fixture, and it is certainly, hopefully, going to live up to the expectations. Looking through at the benches, Billy Meeks is there for the Australians. Maurice Longbottom, he had a real impact in their quarterfinal fixture. Stuart Dunbar, Nathan Lawson, and then the speedster, Corey Toole. Looking through for Fiji, Sevu Mofinothangi, Joshua Vakurabili, Jeremiah Matana, Filippo Bocayaro, and Viwa Nadovalo. Some big men off the bench, and they can certainly pack a punch when they get it right. So I would say it's the speed of Australia's bench versus the power of the Flying Fijians. For Fiji forever, says Patrick there, and also Tosaviti Toso, says Sevu, and also Clara has said no, and Tosaviti Toso. And then how many Sevens World Cup and who's won the most World Cup Sevens, says Nathan. I believe New Zealand are leading the bunch. They have won 3, 2001, 2013, and 2017. They want to make it 3 competitions in a row, but if they meet either of these sides in the final, that will be in no way an easy task for them to be able to make it 3 from the 3. And also Tosaviti Toso says it was Cecilia. Also go Fiji all the way. Let's go Fiji, says I. And also Fiji, play well, thank you. It seems like a lot of people going for the Fijians. Have we got anyone supporting Australia in the chat? Do let me know. But currently Fiji in their huddle, ready to go for this all-important fixture. I think Kimanali Rasaku once again will be able to step up. Thanakaivata with that big amount of size that he brings. The Sevens World Cup every 4 years. It is, although it was delayed 1 year this year, I believe it was. And cheers for the info, Hamish. Says Nathan. And Fiji taking a breath, says Annoy. And that's the thing, to be in a World Cup, a lot of these guys have never been in one before. Jerry Tawai, though, he's the exception of the side. But you just get to soak in the atmosphere. Cape Town, the crowd are going to be behind both of these sides to come out there and play an absolutely fantastic game of Sevens rugby. Fiji will be kicking this one off. Waisia Nathunu about to get us underway for the final semi-final of the Cape Town Sevens. Nicely taken by Henry Hutchison, gliding through the air, being held up by Matthew Gonzalez. Bit of a rough pass from Henry Patterson to get it slightly wrong and puts extra pressure on James Turner. 15 seconds into the game, and Australia already find themselves deep in their own 22. Hutchison inside ball off to Nick Maloof. That is a textbook tackle made by Satoranga. It's going to be no clear release. A little bit unfortunate for him now. Henry Hutchison going through. He's looking for his support. He has none from his Australian teammates, but does extremely well, although Matthew Gonzalez leaves his feet on the breakdown, gives away the penalty. Now Fiji have the quick tap 40 metres out from their line. It's going to be the big number 2, Talatholo. Now offloads to Kimanali Rasaku. If that man ever has a run that he doesn't break a tackle, I would be extremely surprised. Jerry Tawai, almost up the middle, finds the offload to Kimanali Rasaku. Now finds the offload back. Fiji, you can see already that they are loving the fact that it is going to be dry for Cape Town in this afternoon, because you will be able to make the absolute most of it. Although the ball has been stripped now, Australia get the position back. Dietrich Roach Looking to pass this one across, possibly on his outside to James Turner. He does just that. Now good cover defense from it was the number 5, Osefo Masi, who pushes him into touch. We have got Gugil. And also, who would New Zealand prefer to play? Definitely Australia. Oh, no, actually, no. Definitely Fiji. Because Australia have a very good skill of beating us, whereas Fiji, yes, they also beat us very often, but last game went the way of New Zealand, so you'd have to say they'd feel a little bit more confident. But either way, it's going to be a tough final. Whoever loses this game, they go on, and they will be facing up against Ireland, which could be an exciting game. Do you think we have 7 perfect now at 15 to replace Shonde? And yeah, or Shorty, says Nerf Boy. It's a very tough question to answer, but I mean, I love both Sevens and Union, if that is the question. Come on, Aussie. Says Nathan, go Fiji, go, says Viniana, Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. Said Card Crazy. And Tosaviti Tosso from Cecilia, let's go Fiji, says Jamie. Ball going to be fed in. Fiji have not made a Rugby World Cup Sevens final since 2005. It's been a long time coming for the Flying Fijians. All they need is a good 12 minutes here, and they do get to join back up with the medal contention now. Nice work from Kiminelli Rasaku. Beautiful offload. And Fiji will be scoring the first try of this match. Oh, he was running slowly for a second there. Saturanga just trying to glide it in, but then there was a bit of extra pressure put on him by, I believe it was Henry Patterson, so he had to sprint again. Well, I have a feeling Fiji had to work hard. And also we have got there Bulavanaka, says Akanisi there. A nice work from Felipe Saturanga to score his first try of the Rugby Sevens World Cup. It's one of the most important tries he may score throughout this competition. The Kiminelli Rasaku beautifully luring in 4 defenders. That is the dangerousness that is Rasaku, because you can never let it be a one-on-one tackle with that man. You've got to have another man with you to make the double team on him. And also was jogging slow. He thought he was running in easy. Henry Patterson made him put in the afterburners for half a second. But Australia now find themselves trailing by 7 points to 0 against the Fijians. Fiji are averaging 8 offloads per game and 1 try per 0.8 rucks this tournament. That is massive, that stat. Because it just means anytime they get the opportunity, they are getting rid of that ball, keeping it alive, and making sure that they continue to score points. Dietrich Roach goes off to Henry Patterson. Now big shot on Saturanga. Now Australia just out from their own 22. Gonzalez goes short side. One more off to Patterson, getting those step-ins going. Now, don't be confused by the big size of the man. He has got quick feet. And also, do you think Rugby League is weakening Fiji Rugby right now, so many in the NRL? I don't think so. I think their side is looking still very strong. Like, you look at the Union side and the amount of players that they could put in, same with the Sevens side. There are so many players who are just outside of the selection that could make their way in and be stars. You just look at someone like Vinaya Habosi from the recent season for the Fiji and Drua. He went up to international level, and they were picking him over Joshua Tuisova, and that says all you need to know about the skill of that youngster. Going to be the line out here for Fiji. 3 minutes left of the first half. One visit to the opposition, 22 for the Fijians, and they were able to score it now, getting close. Once again, it is going to be Talafolo. Passes off to Kiminelli Rasaku. Finds the offload, and Nathunu this time goes over for another try for Fiji. They are on fire in the semi, and that is going to be sensational work from Nathunu. And also go Fiji go, says Elena. And also they're always jogging Fiji's opposition's facial expressions, chasing after Fiji, says Nathan there. And also go Fiji go, says Cecilia. Beautiful offload. Once again, Kiminelli Rasaku, get that man. Oh, no, it wasn't him that time. I apologize. It was actually Saturanga who needs to take credit for that one. They had Rasaku on the outside if they did need him, but they did not. Another try going the way of the Fijians. Although, I need to say once again, the game is not over. That kick has missed away to the left-hand side, remaining 12-0. We have seen games so far in the semi-finals where a team has been 12-0 up, and then at halftime they've gone in even. This next 2 minutes is one of the most important 2 minutes for Fiji throughout the semi-final. Well, Hamish Slow, I was commentating, the scoreboard beats them, says Vinny there. Yeah, unfortunately, the scoreboard does seem to be half asleep today, and also my coverage on Spark Sport is quite slow today as well. Boy, not looking good for the Aussie, says Card, although now they've given it straight back to Australia. Henry Hutchison, ball on the outside to James Turner. They need to try and keep this ball alive as well if you're Australia. The knees are down. They do have to release him. Hutchison, good body position. Keep it on the side of the Aussies. Dietrich Roach Now back across. Matthew Gonzalez has got brilliant leg strength. Penalty goes the way of Australia for the high tackle. And Fiji commentators on Fiji time, says Philly there. Now passed across once again. Henry Patterson goes on the inside to Henry Hutchinson there. James Turner back across to Roach. Australia, they've got 55 seconds of this first half to try and get themselves one try. Get back into the contest. Brilliant work from Talatholo. No, it wasn't. No clear release. Kimanale Rasaku was about to take the quick tap until he was told it wasn't actually his penalty. Instead, now Australia do find themselves going wide to the left-hand side. Hutchinson goes off to Henry Patterson. The Henry's linking up. Nick Maloof starts to accelerate. Going close. Couple missed tackles from Fiji. And they do score the try there for Australia with 30 seconds left on the clock in the first half. Like I mentioned, just because the side's up by 12, the other side can certainly make their way back into it. This is going to be a close second half as well. And also, well, good fan. You have there, says Vinny, and also nice, says Nathan, and also Aussie, oi, says Card, crazy, putting the ball down, slamming it. Nick Maloof, Maurice Longbottom, fired up on the touchline. That was a good one, Aussie, says Vinny, and also come on, Aussie, says Nathan, so that is going to be kicked over. The score at halftime now. 7 points to Australia and 12 to Fiji. We're going to have some more water or else my voice will disappear. In fact, we have still got one final play. Maurice Longbottom actually out there on the park now for the Australians. Yeah, one more play before we get into halftime, which means Australia could go in even. Slap back by Josh Turner. It's going to be a little bit of obstruction. It looks like there's an injury here. That is bad. Jerry Tawai stayed down. The last player Fiji want to be staying on the ground. Is it a yellow? Okay, they're going to go upstairs. They want to give a yellow card to an Australian. This could be a match-deciding decision here. And Fiji is going to fire Aussies in the second half, says Shivam. Right. So he's gone up. Slaps it there. Josh Turner's done nicely. I'm sorry, but there's no contact from Australia other than there for Maloof. So it's going to be a penalty. This cannot be a yellow card for Australia, I don't believe. Yeah, Australia have done well there. It's actually the lifter. It was Kimanale Rasaku who put Jerry Tawai hard down. And also we have got there for Fiji. Eva Fiji says Viniano. Also thank you for the commentary. Hamish says Akanisi, no worries at all. And we are going to be doing the final, which will be taking place a little bit later on. That is going to be at 6:54 a.m. New Zealand time. No. You've made contact with the knee first. Josh Turner's going off the field. I don't think that is the right decision. And not a Springbok lifter, says Hanoi. And Few says Nathan, although it's not Few yet, that is going to be Josh Turner off the field for the next 2 minutes. I think that look at the camera summed it up. He looked at the camera and went, as if to say, like, what happened? Why? So the knee. Oh. I'd say that's a penalty maximum if you're giving a penalty. I don't think it's a yellow card. I think if it was reversed, it would have still... It should have only been a penalty for that one, I think. And also good call, says Jamie. And Longbottom from Australia, long neck for Fiji. Now nice work from the Fijian side. They throw it back up to the Australians who are playing with one less man on the field now. Maurice Longbottom passes across. Maybe he's got AFL background, says Hanoi. Fire back across. Maurice Longbottom got the pass off to Henry Hutchinson. I think all that's done is fired up the Aussies. Although Matthew Gonzalez, he's been hit hard. Kimanale Rasaku, good tackle made on him. Little bit of obstruction there on Maurice Longbottom, but it's going to be play on just for now. And also, where is this? Says Ed. It is currently taking place in Cape Town, South Africa. And it is as the semi-final. Gonzalez jumps on the ball. Australia do not want this half to end. At the end of the day, the more time they use up, the less time in the second half that they will be down to only having a few minutes. The interception, brilliantly done by, I believe it was Osefo Masi. He was waiting in the wings. He lay down on the ground. He hadn't gotten back up. And then the pass was made. He sprung up like he was some sort of frog there. And Masi scores a crucial try for the Fijians. And also we have got there, yes, let's go, Hamish. And then so come on, Fiji, get the ball, says Jamie there. And do you watch football? I mean my soccer. And yeah, I do watch a little bit of football. We have actually covered some football on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel. Tosa Viti Toso says Mohammed there. And also Masi Vanaka. And well, good one says Vinny. Yeah, he just sprung back up. I don't think they saw him. They just assumed he wasn't going to be able to get to his feet. That was a massive mistake from Australia. Josh Turner will be back in the second half, but the Fijians will be leading 19 points to 7, which is a big lead to have in a semi-final fixture. But like I mentioned, any side can win it on any given day. Australia, I would assume, would be quite large underdogs at the moment in the contest. And also, let's go Fiji. Finish strong and is set nice. And thank you for the commentary, says Siobhan. No worries at all. Anyone who does want to be able to watch this game, depending on what country you're in, you have got the option of watching it on rwc7s.com, and it will be on the match schedule. So I do recommend checking that out. If it's not available, I will put the link in the description, or sorry, not the description, in the chat. If you haven't got it available where you are in the world and you have got a little bit of money that you can spend, I highly recommend checking out that VPN I've got in the pinned comment. You will be able to set yourself after buying that to any location around the world, whether that's for sport, Netflix, or anything like that. And you can watch all of the World Sevens circuit for free throughout 2022, 2023. So it's a good investment if it isn't available in your country without being able to pay for a Sky Sports subscription, anything along those lines, because at the end of the day, it's only going to work out to be about $2 a month, whereas Sky and whatnot is a lot more than that. Show them Aussie in the second half, says Walter, and hope Fiji wins the cup, says Willem Duplessis. And hi, says Pizza. Welcome back, mate. Hope you are doing very well. Long time no see. Hope you have been keeping well for yourself. Currently, Australia down by 12. Need to find their way back into this contest. So they've got some decent support, no matter where they are in the world. Cape Town, quite a few Fijians and attendance. Tosa Viti Toso, says Akanesi there. And now it's going to be the second half about to get underway. Australia back to 7. Like I mentioned, they need to score within the first 2 minutes, I would say, of this half if they do want a chance of going on and getting themselves a victory up against the Flying Fijians. I combined flying and Fijians into one word. Fijians? No, it wouldn't quite work, would it? Talafolo goes across. You know when something sounds better in your head than it does out loud? That was one of those cases. I thought I was going to be able to combine the two words to make a brilliant acronym for the Fijians. Currently inside of their own 22, Talafolo once again finds the offload up. It is going to be Osef Masi, the man who scored the last try. Doing brilliantly. Now Kamaneli Rasaku. Can anyone stop him? He just fends after fends after fends. Maurice Longbottom tries to get him. He reaches out and scores the try. This man is up for Player of the Year, in my opinion, for the Sevens, because what can't he do? He's been everywhere. Third try for the Rugby World Cup Sevens. He set up about 7 as well. And also not accurate. Yeah, I did get that around the wrong way, didn't I? For the words. And also we have got there Fiji, my beautiful Fiji all the way, says Viniana, and also he will never know, says Pizza Blaze. I assume you used the membership one, but unfortunately with the speed of live stream, it may be very hard to find that one, so I may have to have a look at it afterwards, after the match is finished. But brilliantly done by Kimaneli Rasaku. Over the line, scores the try, says thanks very much for coming. Fiji might be booking themselves a spot in the final to go up against New Zealand once again. That's a match I never get sick of seeing, and we're going to get to see it possibly again. And Rasaku says Viniana, and come on Aussie, play hard against Fiji. Come on Fiji, says Jamie. And there as well, currently 5.5 minutes left. Kiwis coming back in the cricket, says Anui. And yeah, they've got to try and get themselves one win, don't they, in that ODI series. Maloof taking some deep breaths. He knows how hard this is going to be. Fiji, great kick. Downfield, oh, that would have hurt his rib cage of Josh Turner. He took that way too casually. I felt that reverberate through my spine. He just decided to hold it, wait, and then pass. And a Fijian just came in and broke all of his vital organs apart. Corey Toole, nice work here. Doing nicely. Offload to Matthew Gonzalez. Trying to spin out. Aussie need a try, and they need one now. And also the ouch, says Nathan, and All Blacks always, says Creeper Reigns. And also Vinny T cheering for the ref, says Viniana. Now Henry Hutchison gets back up to his feet. Doesn't find that offload on the outside. Decides instead to try and lure in some of that Fijian defense. Truouchi, says Vinny there. Now back across Maurice Longbottom. Ball on the inside to Nick Maloof. Bit of a slip there from the from the Fijian defense. Offload to Corey Toole. Found a beautiful offload to Josh Turner. and he may have been smacked down the other end of the field, but he's now scored the try for Australia between the posts. He yells at his kicker, says, come on, kick it. We need to keep this momentum going. A big Vanaka Vakalevu to our commentator, Go Fiji, says, Philly, here we go, says Aria, maybe the start of the comeback, but Josh Turner, boy, he took a good shot there. And wait, is this still is this still the first half? No, we are in the second half. For some reason, it still says first, though. But it is the second half of this contest. There is still 4 minutes left on the clock. Plenty of time to score 2 converted tries for Australia, but also still plenty of time for Fiji to be able to extend their lead by even more. Score now 14 points to 12 with the conversion going over 3.5 minutes on the clock for Kurara. Billy has made his way out onto the field. Nathungu, now nice ball on the inside. Mothina Thangi for Kurara. Billy gets involved. It's stripped from his hands. Nathungu once again goes across. Thanakai Vata. They're having a miniature game between those men at the moment. Saturanga now looks for his offload. Goes into the hands of Jerry Tawai. It's great to see him back on his feet after the injury that he did get in that first half. I'm surely not saying this correctly. Oh, it's a brilliant run. The offload from Fiji. Jerry Tawai going to be cut off. Lobby pass. Great work from Fiji. Talatolo finds the offload, and it's another try for Fiji. I think they have taken Kiminele Rasahu off the field for Fiji, which is a bold call. Maybe they know that they've won it and they're saving them for the finals. Jeremiah Matana scores his first try of the Rugby World Cup Sevens and New Zealand and Fiji finals. I think Fiji will win, says Novmum. And then also we have the Limatale Viti, says Elizabeta. Hopefully I said that correctly. And also we have got there and the chat from Kazumi. Welcome into the live stream. I hope you're doing very well. Great run from Jeremiah Matana. Toso Viti Toso, says Laeti. Slams it down. Onto the turf came over. Aussie says Creeper Reigns. Yeah, the momentum has well and truly left the pockets of the Aussies. And now it's the case of how much will the Fijians win by? Who will have more momentum heading into that final? That's a big question. On one side of the draw, it will be New Zealand versus Fiji in the men's final. On the other side, Australia versus New Zealand in the women's. Who do you support in football and Europe soccer? I don't really have a team at this point, unfortunately, for myself. That was forward from Fiji. Naruwalo almost able to run in the try, but just a little mistake from Vakurunra. Billy didn't quite get that swap back that he wanted off the kickoff. Good game, says Nathan Vanakaviti. Says Ioane there. And Vanaka VG, says John and Tosaviti Tosa from Elena. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are going to be back commentating the final between Fiji and New Zealand that has taken place at 6:54 a.m. And I highly recommend tuning in for that one, as it's going to be an absolutely awesome match. The earlier games we get to see, Samoa versus South Africa is another match that has taken place in the prelims of that contest. Now, Josh Turner, ball on the outside to Corey Toole. Almost a bit of a juggle there from the Australian winger. Now, if Australia want to win this match, they need to score 3 tries in 70 seconds. It is near impossible, but not impossible as well at the same time. At the end of the day, Fiji have been able to score tries in the past in 10 seconds. Maybe Aussie only need that much as well. Although it's taken a bit longer because Fiji are making all of their tackles and they've taken the ball back now. Nathungu goes back across. Nice link up in the midfield. Good attacking run. That was Bukayaro there. Great straightened run, I should call it, as well. Now, Jeremiah Matana. Ball across. Talatholo lands hard. He might be injured here, Talatholo. Or he might be deciding to stay down just for a bit longer. Beautiful skills from the Fijians. Nadovalo going to be running into the try line. My voice is about to give out, but we've got 30 seconds left of the game. Fiji score again. And they could be bringing up the 40 points in this contest now. Not a while, although that is his second try that he has scored of the Rugby World Cup Sevens go. Penny Maranma. And there says Kingi To'o, and also Fiji will take the World Cup. Says, this is a hard name. I do apologize if they get this, or if I get this wrong, I should say. Is it Sulia Soko? Hopefully I haven't got that too far off. I do apologize if that pronunciation was a little bit off though, but Fiji scoring again. That kick has missed away to the side, and that now, I believe we have got one last play in this contest. Fiji moving up very nicely in the contest. Nope, I believe that is going to be the end of this game. Fiji have been able to win it 38 points to 14. That is sending a statement to the All Black Seven side. They are saying, you know what? You may have bet us at the Commonwealth Games, but we've come to play and we're taking you down in Cape Town. We'll have to wait, see who takes out that match. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Like I mentioned, we are going to be back for the final. If you want a way of being able to watch these games yourself, highly recommend checking out that VPN. Then from there, you can set yourself to a different location around the world and watch those games live and for free on rwc7s.com. That is the official Rugby World Cup Sevens website. Nonetheless, do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Fiji have good energy. New Zealand limp past Ireland. Will be an interesting final set commentary talk. Exactly right. The Irish side, they certainly know how to push the Kiwis. Fiji, normally them versus Australia is a bit closer, but this game was certainly a bit more one-sided than normal. Well done, Fiji. A well-deserved winner, Fiji, there from Liate in the chat as well. But nonetheless, like I mentioned, we're going to be back for plenty more finals. We will get those live streams scheduled in about an hour's time. So I do recommend keeping those notifications turned on so you do not miss when those games are taking place. Joseph has said, thank you, commentator. No worries at all. And yeah, we will see you all back for the finals. That is at 6:54 a.m. New Zealand and Fiji time. So it's an early morning start, that is for sure. But for those of you who are keen to see history being made, I hope to see you there. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, like I mentioned, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you all for the next one.